Okay, K9. So I was sleeping earlier. Market's obviously dropped now when I wake up. We were right in this area, 1759, right up in here when you asked the question. Nine, you. Let's just look at this. Suppose you asked at 9:41 a.m. Around in here, so you were asking in and around here. Right in here is where you were asking. Um, Obviously we dropped since then. We had some capitulation buying right up in here. I suppose the capitulation one was early, but if we flip that to an hourly chart, it'll probably push into an hourly. Not huge, but you can definitely see that it's the biggest, um, the biggest hourly candle, and then above this large candle, we got the sell-off. Now we're still holding strong here. Very good to see. 12 or whatever percent that bounce was today, 12% bounce. I don't know if it's 12% today, almost 10% bounce today. It's pretty normal to get some sort of sell-off. But as you can see, we're bouncing back very well. Now, I don't know if you mean target price on Link. Do you mean on the short term? Do you mean on the medium term? Do you mean on the longer term? It's not it's not an easy question to work with. In the short term, you would have to call a top up above this volume somewhere to top out and pull back. I actually shorted this, but then I had to sleep. I shorted for like 1%, 1.5%, and I just closed it. In hindsight, I should have left it open and woke up and sold down there, but that's just the way it goes. I didn't have patience. I didn't want to let it run. So the short term was above here for a dip back. Medium term, well, if we look at this, Link is a very interesting chart, I have to say. This is forming an outside doji. It's forming an outside doji that could be considered bearish, but I honestly I'm not so sure. It's an outside monthly indecision candle, which is it's actually a very strange candle to have. It's definitely indecision, but there's a bearish element to it. There definitely is a bearish element to it, and it's kind of. I'm not going to say it's bearish and wants to break down, but you have to think that there is a bearish element to it. But at the same time, it's an indecision candle. It's an indecision candle, so it's kind of almost it's a 50-50 sort of candle. That if this done this next month, right, and it could, this would then be a W pattern, right? We would then have dropped. We'd have dropped down. We've formed a W pattern, that wants to break up, and you could actually form a bit of a neckline there that really wants to run again. Honestly, it's a tough call. Link is a tough one here, and why is it a tough one? Because we could almost flip green on a 3-month, right? And it's such a like we've had a 3-month bullish stop hunt, right? At this point, Link can be considered bullish as long as we stay above this white line. Now, I usually like to make these green lines. It's just what I'm used to. So, like you can see here now, if I move this green line to here, right? You can see where Link has to recapture to turn bullish on the month, right? And that's not a big bounce. If Link bounces up above this green line, it's green on a 3-month, and then technically you have to start thinking that this was a deviation, that this is the 3-month wick here, and then then price can continue back to the upside. So in my mind, it's all going to depend on if Link can regain this green, if it can flip green here on a 3-month. If it bounces and rejects off it and falls away again, well, then that's a bearish sign, and it's a sign we're going lower. We're probably going to we're going below that $10 level, but Link has dropped a lot. Link is a very good coin. This may well hold up. Honestly, it's so touch and go here. It's very it's a tricky pattern. At this point, we have to have a bullish bias on Link above this green line, and even more bullish if Link can flip green on that line that we Well, so above 1533, Link is bullish, and we are even more bullish above 1971. So it's going to be interesting. Like you can see here on a 6 month chart, if somehow this could chop about in here for, I mean, the problem is it's 5 months away, but it's at this point it's forming an inside bar. But somehow if it can hold in here, it wouldn't be a problem for a chart like this to push back up to the highs. And also, I mean, there's not much wrong with this yearly chart in my eyes. I would suggest that a new year can easily do something like this on Link. Now, we've 11 months left, so we don't know how this is going to finish. We've a long way to go, unless this tanks. What you want to see is this flipping green on the year and forming some sort of an inside bar on the year, which means a choppy year on Link is for me probably a good thing. Like if we push back up to the $32, or that's 100% bounce, and chop about in and around this area for a year, I would not be surprised to see Link at $70 next year. But at this point, when you get a large wick like this, it's quite normal to form an inside bar here somewhere, right? So some sort of an inside bar in there between 30. Well, we'll say between 40 and here, between $10 and $40 that this will probably wick about in. And for me, that's bullish, right? For me, that is still bullish. And I think after that, Link can easily go higher.